So describe your season in 5 words.
Better than I expected this time around. Okay, let me start over. How about much better than I expected?
Nice, nice. That's the shortest amount of words that I've given someone. They've created a kind of a sentence out of it. I like.
Nice.
Oh, since we're on the Bears for the CTFO, what's your favorite type of bear?
Oh, polar bears because they're the only bear that actually see us as food. They're not afraid of anything.
Um,
They don't get enough love.
yeah, what's your favorite lane to run in?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh man. I mean, four is always the favorite, but for some reason, I love five because it means like I wasn't quite fast enough, so like I let them chase me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Number five, I guess number five because five is the hurt number as well.
Mm, okay. Yeah. How many? A lot of people say four,
Yeah,
right?
I expect that.
Yeah. I have it on my hat. Four.
Fair.
If you can name your tracker after a song, what song would it be?
That's a hard one. Hmm. Okay, I got a good one. Dirt off your shoulders.
How come?
Here's the deal. I mean, especially where I come from, Nova Scotia, like it's a lot. It's not as easy to get the same competitive nature that you guys get up in Ontario and other part of the countries, right? So like, of course, it's still pretty competitive here, but like I'm always struggling for more. And like I've had to fall on my face a lot training, trying to get better, trying to get to you guys' level. So like, I've had to dust myself off, take my losses, take my L's, take my wins, and like when I do win, it's that much more rewarding. So I guess that's what it is. I always have to dust the shirt off my shoulders, get off and keep moving forward, Because I mean, even though I would win races, even when I was away or come top five or top 10, like I was never satisfied because I wanted to keep going, kept getting better. So besides, that song has so much swagger.
How'd you get into track and field?
Completely by accident, to be honest. I was growing up, I was always going to be a soccer player. I was going to be a striker, run fast, go down the field, score. And my gym teacher in eighth grade, who was also my soccer coach in junior high, he always noticed I was always fast. He's like, you know what? Try track. You might be good at it. You never know. So I gave it a shot my first year in my eighth grade. I won the 100 and the 200 provincials, and I never looked back since. And then like that same summer, I went to Legions my first time. Got humbled, but it was like the best experience of my life because I literally was like, okay, cool. I have a sport I can get better at, and always I can't blame anybody else. I can always try to get better, which is the most exciting thing. So I guess you can thank my gym teacher, Jeff Velad. He still teaches at the same high school to this day, but that's where it started, and I haven't looked back since. And I love the aspect of being accountable on yourself, the aspect of you can run as fast as you want, and you know, getting all the medals.
Um, what's your favorite event to run?
That's like picking my favorite child. It's hard to say. I guess I would say the 200 is probably my favorite, just because I've always been a guy who's had really good top speed. I've been gapped only how many times in the 100, and you'll see it in the CTFL final where like Janelle is like in lane four, like thrashing me, and then I catch me at the end. But like I love the 200 meter. I love going off the bend. I love being the fact I can chase somebody down, and it's a much more mental event people give it credit for because like it's not like the four where you have to really practice, you have to really like plan out your race and not run too hard, but like you have to be somewhat strategic and not like burn yourself on the curve. And once you get on the straight and just hang on the whole time. And I've had an amazing battle. Some of my funnest races, some of my most rewarding races have been running 200. So I guess that's definitely my favorite because I've always felt good.
Yeah, that's funny because like you're 60, like in points worthy, your
Yeah.
60 is actually your best event.
I know. I don't understand why. I don't know why. Like I had one year had a really wild 60. Was actually the year I came back to Dow because I took a 1 or 2 years off for some interesting reason. We can get into it later in this interview if you like to. But I came back and I just had a different mindset on running the 60, and I'm also running the 300. And I just had this magic where I was able to figure out my top speed, and the one meet I ran a McGill team challenge, ran 687. I was like, wow, we're going. And so 60 somehow is my best points event, but I'm not that great at it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think like the two you get more, it's longer. You get to experience
Yeah,
a bit more.
yeah,
Right? The 60 is kind of it's over real quick under 7
exactly.
seconds.
It's such an OP event because like I feel like you have guys who are just they have a good start and they'll win the 60, but they go into hard and they get destroyed because they don't have no top speed, right? So and I was like I've stopped letting the 60 bother me as much as I used to because I'd be like, man, why can't I run like 675? I run 67, but I will go outside and run 1054. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, 60 is a wild event.
We like on Instagram you post often on like you're always practicing your starts. So are you kind
Yeah.
of focusing working on the start of your like kind of a 60, and will you be running the 60 indoors this season?
I will be running 60 indoors this season. And see, it's funny, like this past summer is the summer I finally figured out my start because I've always had good top speed. Me and my coach could never figure out what was missing. And then this year we tried something different, some more sleds, some more plyometric stuff. And then this year I was just getting my 60 on point. Like I was finally getting out. Even this season, like I was getting out now, I was like blowing people out of the water in the first like 10 meters. So I was able to actually hang on now. I was like, okay, I have a chance here. And then finish pretty well. So yeah, I post a lot of my start, and it's the one thing I've been working on the most because it's been my biggest weakness. And I'm finally glad it's there. But yeah, I guess start's been my weakness, and now it's in a place where I'm trying to just maintain it and get it not screwed up anymore.
Also on Instagram, you often say Capricorn season. What does that mean to you?
Oh man, I didn't know you were gonna bring this one up. I don't know. I guess it was a TikTok trend that was going around, so I just I did it. But be honest, I had an old friend of mine who owns this clothing line where like you wear your zodiac sign, and like December so happened to be Capricorn season. And for some reason, I forgot Capricorn season only for a couple weeks, and I kept posting it, not realizing, oh, right, this is only for like a month or something like that. So then I just stopped posting it and realized, oh, this looks really stupid.
It's pretty good. Some people call you like a ball of energy for the Bears. You seem to always be like in a great mood at meets. Like, how do you remain so energetic and so positive at meets where, sometimes people are like super focused in and dialed in. Like, how do you, and they're super concentrated and they seem like they kind of put all the fun beside them. How do you remain so energetic and positive?
To be honest, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to be in this sport. I'm grateful to be just be drafted in the team, drafted to be on the CTFL. It was an honor to be even picked by Aaron Brown and have this league even come up and be able to compete. I don't know. I've been in the sport for so long, and I've had the years where I was like try hard, panties up, headphones in, and not be able to enjoy myself. I had race worse. And that year, like I told you back when I came back to the team, I had learned to just know what. At the end of the day, this has to be fun first. I have to enjoy the sport. If I can't do that, this means nothing. So when I come to me, I take the advantage. I take the advantage to really be appreciative. Like I flew out here. I get to meet all these cool people. Even if I don't win, if I don't place, I'm able to just be amongst some of the best in the country and just enjoy the sport. Because I'm not gonna be able to do this forever. Like I'm 26 now. I probably have a solid another 5, 6 years left, maybe 4. So I'm gonna enjoy every minute of it. And so like I'm not gonna spend my time at the meet just being overly dramatic about how the race is. I got to enjoy every minute of it. So when I go out to race in Ottawa or Toronto or York, whatever the case, like I soak every second of the race, and it doesn't always work out for me. So like you got to have that energy. You have to be able to, of course, be serious, but like you also have to have fun. You look at Usain Bolt, his whole career, he's messing around, he's doing like, of course, he's the best in the world, but he had fun. And the second he didn't have fun anymore, he retired. And you can't force yourself to do the sport. So I guess what it comes down to, I just want to enjoy the sport, and the energy comes from just me being grateful and being blessed to be able to have the talent to run against some of the best in the country.
Do you think it's kind of a mental thing where you perform better when you're having a lot more fun?
Absolutely, absolutely, and of course, like you'll have that one day where you're pissed off because your girlfriend sent you that bad text like that or whatever, or some guy in trying to cut you off, then you have all this anger to go for. But like for the most part, when I'm able to enjoy the sport and just enjoy being there, I am able to just not be stressed from the race. It's like, you know what? I don't have to worry about my start. I don't have to worry about my top speed. I can just run because I don't have to think. I don't have time to think about when I'm racing. Um, when I have the time to just decompress myself and just enjoy the experience, everything takes care of itself, and I always have good results. Hasn't failed me once so far.
That's not a bad, it's not bad at all. Only once? It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
right.
Uh, at the CTFL final, we saw a big celebration when you came through the finish line. What was it like running and winning at the championships?
See that plays in my mind rent free, and I love it because again, you come from a province on the side of the country where no one expects you to be good, no one expects you to win, and I have my presence in the track and field scene in Canada to a degree. Like some people know who I am, but I'm not always the favorite to win. So like I go in with no expectations, and to go into that final in the middle of that race, like it's I don't know what it hit me a lot earlier than I thought in the middle of the race. Like when I beat Janelle in the and I think I run like 6 meters because like the day before we were doing practice starts and he was crushing me, right? So okay, cool, I'm gonna do my best. But when I got the top speed, I was like, it's happening. I don't know. Someone was telling me like just celebrate, just enjoy it. You did it. You won the league. And I I almost have no words to explain it right now. It was just such a surreal moment, and like I'm grateful to be able to be the TTFL's first 100-meter winner. And we'll see if I can retain that title next year because I know people are going to come back with some heat. But it was an unbelievable feeling because my family was there, my dad was there, my cousin was there, and also some of my friends in that same race. I was able to race with them. It was such a surreal moment to be in the inaugural season to be able to do that. So I gotta say it was an amazing time, and I can't wait to do it again. Hopefully, I can again next summer.
So like not only then did you produce like a really good time right at the final, but through
Yeah.
the entire season, like you finished first overall for the men's 100 in the
Mm-hmm.
CTFL. So you kind of like you were really consistent. What would you say allowed you to be so consistent throughout the season?
Oh, for sure. It's the plan my coach had for me. It's we worked on a plan to make sure I was able to get maximal training and also maximum recovery, and also be able to make the meets work out because like it's tough having to fly and get a hotel and have your body rest because all the travel is a bit rough. But I think what works for me is making sure I didn't race too much and did training that wouldn't overexert myself. Um, and every meet I went in with the proper plan, the perfect plan. I always had made sure that even in the heats, I would overexert myself, and in the final, I give my maximal best. And like I said before, I was working on those starts this summer, and this summer it very clicked. So the whole season, like I learned also that like I don't have to run fast at the beginning. What matters is if I win at the end. And I won at the end in the finals. And I went in with like, no, what I've been able to cultivate everything throughout this whole season. I have to just put it in place and I executed. So I guess what it comes down to, it was just very, very consistent. I had the perfect plan. I followed the perfect plan. I didn't do too much. I didn't try to do it. No, what, maybe if I do more weights or maybe if I do more of that, I just followed my plan for my race plan. And it worked out the season. So like I said before, much better than I expected this season.
So you own your own clothing company, right? So
Yes.
what prompted you to start that?
Uh, I don't know what it is. It was the middle of COVID, and something was telling me to start a clothing line. Also, Buddy had his own. The guy who owns the Zodiac thing, he said, "Hey, you're good at personal training. Why don't you go start a brand, right?" So yeah, this is the brand's called Hyper Beast, and for some reason, something about track and field and the gym has always been a perfect escape for me. And it was something I just wanted a piece of clothing to represent what that was for me. And the slogan of my of the brand is called "Still I Rise," which means, as we know, throughout COVID, the last 2 years have been wild. A lot of stuff has been crazy, whether it's been protest or all the economic stuff. And like the embodiment of that slogan is like, we're gonna get through it no matter what. No matter how much we get knocked down, we're gonna still rise above it. And this past season was also a reflection of that. I rose through an insane pandemic, having to train all these other restrictions. I come back and win, and I come through to win the season, right? Um, Starting this brand just told me was kind of an inspiration. Like, know what? No matter how hard these go, just try it. Just try new things, and you're gonna rise through it. And that's what happened this season. So,
Hmm. So there's a big meaning behind it.
oh, of course, absolutely.
If you want to go back and we can talk about how come you like kind of left for a bit and then for 1 or 2 years and then came back to track when you went back to Dal.
Yeah, for sure. So I joined Dalhousie's track and field team in 2014. Got recruited there, and the first 3 years, I guess I was coming out of high school expecting this college experience of track and field to be super intense like you see in the States. And I guess you could say I was taking it more serious than I should have. And that was the period I'll say that I wasn't having fun doing the sport. So I thought it was a good idea to leave the team, give up my scholarship, and go train with an Olympian. And I got fast for 6 months, and I got worse and worse. Got more injured. I hated my life. I hated the sport, and like me and the coach had a falling out. It didn't work out, and I just took like a couple months off to figure out what do I want in the sport. Do I still love this? Is this still for me? Am I still good enough? And I said, you know what? Let's give this one more shot. So I came back to the team. They accepted me with open arms, and I told myself I'm going to go in this and just have fun. Forget the medals, forget the achievements. Just like enjoy the team because I'm going to be a varsity athlete for so many years. And that day was, it always kind of makes me emotional a little bit, but it was like it was a life changing moment for me because I learned that I need to just let things be, learn, enjoy everything because this life is not here forever. And once I came back, I got faster. I got closer with my teammates. I was doing better in school. And my mindset on what it means to succeed and not just sport, but in life, I completely changed because it's all about like you have to enjoy things you do and you have to take things not for granted, be grateful for what you have, and not always feel that like I understand the grass is not always green on the other side. Take care of your own lawn, it'll be just fine. And what that means is like be careful what you have right now, and you can make it work. And once I came back, I made it work. My coach, we had a much closer relationship. My team, we had a much closer relationship, and now my relationship with track and field is much better because I love the sport for what it is. You're not always going to be the fastest, not always going to win. That's completely okay. The fact is that you have to love what you do and work hard, and the results will come.
So it kind of you just took a step back, and it took up that step back for you to realize like, oh, this is really what I want.
Yeah, pretty much. And like what it came down to be honest, is like I left the team thinking I was better than I was. There was a sense of arrogance. It's like, no, I don't need Dalhousie track and field. I don't need to be here. I'm better than this. I'm gonna go cheer with this Olympian who's gonna coach me, right? And like I realized that was really freaking arrogant. Like you're not on top of the world. And track and field is a sport that will humble you. There's a guy whoever from another province or from another state or from your same team will come say, "Hey, I will humble you right now," and that happened. I got a little bit fast, but like it's the team I left ended up being better without me. And I had to again humble myself. You know what? This is not about me. It's about you know enjoying the sport and enjoying the family dynamic of being in a track and field team and getting better. So I learned, especially in the sport, we all want to make the Olympics. We want to make these big teams, but at the end of the day, this has to be fun first. All right? If you focus on it being enjoying the sport first, you'll get there, right? Whatever that goal is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, having fun is like the biggest part of track and field, right?
Yeah,
You do sports for fun. Um, uh, Next season, what are you looking forward to?
of course. Not season of CTFL. Honestly, I'm looking forward to this sport growing. I'm looking forward to the league growing, of course, and just seeing what else I can pull off. Like I said, I only have a couple more years left. I'm really excited to see what I can achieve in the sport and see if I can retain this title. I know next year, like people realize how successful this league was, so I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna have to train a lot harder than I have to have this past league, which I already have been training hard. But take another level to try to see if I can catch guys like Brendan Letts or catch guys like Penloza or whoever who's gonna be around and see if I can match up.
Yeah, next season I think there's gonna be right one more spot on each team for each event.
Right.
So there are gonna be four more guys added. Is that does that kind of phase you at all or?
Honestly, not really. I think it's just more competition. I love that. I think it makes the sport better and it makes the competition much more rich. I want it to be like to the wire where like, oh, I made the CTFL final this year because like there's that guy who's much faster because the team's much bigger now. I think the sport needs to grow, and I mean, I for me to complain that more people are entering the sport is bad because I mean that makes more people to beat. No, I'm just kidding. No, but jokes aside, I think it's gonna be good. I'm not phased, but I think I'm more excited that more people are joining. It's gonna make the league a lot more intense.
Yeah, I think it will too. I'm just wondering, are we so no, you've run 60s, you've run ones, you've done twos, done some threes. Are you ever gonna run a 400?
If there's a 4x4 this year, if Quinn puts a 4x4, I'll do a four, and that's the closest thing that I'll do.
So a 4x4. I'll let him
Yeah,
know. No. Maybe he'll add a mixed 4x4. That would be great.
that'd be fun. That'd be pretty sick. Yeah. As far as an individual four, uh, I don't know. Maybe could have to put up the price a bit higher for me to do it to make it worth it. I don't know. We'll see. For now, let's start with the 4x4, and I'll think about doing an individual four.
Okay. Sounds good. So that's all the questions I have for you, really. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or shamelessly plug your brand? Go for it.
Hey, hyperbeast.com comes soon. Follow the account hyperbeast underscore PR on Instagram and hyperbeast.pr on TikTok. YouTube's come soon. Let's make it happen. Still we rise, y'all.